So I wanted to give an update on my journey from last year. I talked about, my wife leaving me. I wanted to just give you guys a documented journey of that experience and what has happened just in the last year. This is just more of a healing expression of what I've gone through and maybe to help someone else that may have experienced something of similarity. Um, one thing that I can tell you is that the journey of a divorce or separation is more of your internal growth than the situation at hand. Because you can't control what a person does, do, or say, or how they choose to cope, whatever the situation at hand during their separation process with you. But one thing you can do is put in the time within yourself to invest in you and grow in you. One thing that I find that a lot of reasons why people that jump from one relationship to another don't work is because of the fact they don't take the time to take inventory to learn from. And I've talked about this in my other video in more detail. But if someone can tell you what is wrong or what you've done, and you can take that to professionals or like therapy or someone who has your best interest at heart to give you accountability to reflect and give you tools of strategy on how to become better out of the situation, then it'd be much more worth it in the long term of things, because now you can go into a new perspective and a new character with yourself to no longer influence those same traumas and behaviors onto a new relationship. You come in with a new slate. And that's what it comes down to. Inevitably, people tend to separate because the things that were done in the beginning that kept you together no longer is being put in effort to sustain the relationship. Oftentimes, also, complacency is a big issue in relationships. We stop growing. The same things that simply may have drawn you to each other as you were starting out, as you start to mature in the relationship or even just mature in age, those same things may not be the same thing you should be doing. You should be growing together. And I think at some pace, there's always someone that's either gotten too complacent, too comfortable, and just simply stop putting in the effort or making the things necessary to keep relationships fresh and actually, cultivating the relationship to be renewed in a lot of ways. It's just more routine. So I do understand that children do play a lot of factors in this, especially if you're a young family with no community. These things can also play and weigh on a lot of our mothers, especially, which I talked about in another video about postpartum. That is something definitely that is not talked about or expressed enough. And I know us men, we go through it as well, but women, especially with bearing children, they deal with it the most because they have a lot of bodily changes, which again, I spoke to more of that in another video. But again, marriage is work. It takes effort on two parties. And I've learned from reading a lot of relationship books, going to seminars, going to conferences, different things of that nature. It takes two people, man. It really just takes two people. It can't be one person doing it by themselves. Two people have to be taking accountability to grow and do the internal work. The worst thing you can do in any relationship is trying to victimize each other or victimize yourself or victimize each other, and do the blame game. That never works. But if you can take a time to take accountability and grow and actually learn from your mistakes, you have a better outcome. Even if the person never changes, and if the person never accepts you for who you're becoming, you can grow into a new slate with another person or just in another refresh of perspective and not have to create those same traumas with somebody else. And so that's kind of the biggest thing that I've talked about again in a lot of my other relationship videos, is accountability is a big thing. So I say this to say, take the time to invest in you. Take the time to work on your mental health, work on your physical health, work on your spiritual health. Find things that you probably never done that you've been putting off when you guys were together, and start putting time to invest in yourself in areas that bring out the best version of you. I've gotten a chance just in this last year to just try different things that I've never thought about doing. I've accomplished challenges and things like that that I was never able to do because, again, the environment that I was in was different. But now that I'm in a whole different environment, I can earnestly say as a testament, man, it does make a big of a difference when you start taking that energy as far as in what you've neglected in yourself and start investing in yourself in the most positive, healthier way. Because by you doing that, by default, everything else around you in the relationship and the caliber of person that you attract will be different, because you have a new set of perspective, a new set of thought process, a new set of vision on what your relationship ideal looks like. The reason why we tend to cultivate the same similarity in our relationship patterns with people, when, no matter who it is, going from one relationship to another, is because we don't take the time to invest in ourselves and our perspective and the best version of who we can be and who God's called us to be. And so I just say this to say, man, it's been a journey. It's been a great journey, in fact. And if anything, I'm thankful for the experience anyway, despite of the fact that it has played an effect on the discomfort of me not being able to have my children in the same home with their mother. But as the saying goes, it's better to have two peaceful homes than one unhealthy one. And so, I've accepted the reality that, if I can't come to a synergy and alignment with the person I've created children with, that's going to be a healthy one for us both, then it would be better for me to create a space for my children to be a part of, where I have a control factor of who I allow in that space to influence a healthy environment model for them. If I can't do that for the children, then I can find that in the space that I've created for my children when they're in my presence and domain. And so I'm just thankful for that. And that's kind of how you have to think of it in that way as well. Like I said, you can't control what people do, man. You can only control what you partake in and what you choose and how you choose to respond. And that comes with maturity. It comes with development and ideal of a new perspective to taking authority and accountability of what you have control over, and accept people for who they are. And if they show you who they are, then believe it. So in that case, I'm going to give you guys some more updated videos and some things that I've been working on. It's been a great roller coaster, in a lot of ways, impactful year. And so I'm going to be unpacking some things for 2026, but also to give you guys a highlight that change is inevitable, but growth is optional. All right. I'm going to get off this tip, TED Talk. This is Aquarius Beverly. Make sure to subscribe if you like this video. But most importantly, man, make an effort to become 1% better than you were yesterday, man. Because I'm telling you, in 360 days of the year, you will see a transformational process. And I am definitely a testimony of it, man. God be the glory. All right, guys. I'll see y'all very soon in the next one. Talk to you soon. Peace.